everyone, welcome back to the series, and this is our sample to learn how to learn how to make an infographic with Canva. We learned how to make the dental hygiene tooth decay as a header, and then we also learned how to make this text box. Now we're going to learn how to have some graphics and add some fun elements in here. That way it can give our infographic some context. So first, we're going to go back to our sample. So I was able to change the background so that way it had similar colors, and also the text so that way it had similar colors. Remember, if changing text color is this A, and you just hit new color. Now, elements. Elements is here through Canva, and it has, like I said, multiple different shapes, frames, stickers, lines. And first, lines. So hit see all. There are multiple different types of lines, and I tries to choose lines that fit the theme of our graphic or our something that we're creating. But for this, we're just going to keep pretty much solid lines. Now, when you think of teeth, think of toothpaste. So I personally thought of the two lines that you would see on a Crest toothpaste or something of the sorts. You just click it, and as long as it's free, it will pop in here without any problems. Up here, you see two color grays. They correspond with the grays in the two lines. So you can actually change them. So you can have one bar be blue and another one be white. So this allows you to help separate your different sections. So that way subconsciously the viewer is like, okay, these parts are different, but one part of a whole. And now you can actually make the lines the full length of the document, again, by hitting these white circles in the corner and having the two arrows, and then you hold and drag. Now this allows you to create one type of line that helps separate the dental hygiene and introduction from the rest of the content. Now, what other type of lines are there? There are dots, dotted lines, swoops, and there is a solid white line. Now, the cool about these lines is that you can change their direction. So you can see how there is 90 degrees, 88 degrees. You can actually make them vertical lines, or you can go back and make them horizontal lines. It shows you how skewed your line is. Now for this specific color palette, this scheme that we're doing, we want to make sure that it's white, it's bright, it's interface, and then we have good contrast from the background to what we're doing. So I'm going to have a line down here. Again, make sure it's all centered with the purple hot pink lines. And I'm going to drag this so that way it can cover the full length. Now, you notice there's a difference between a diagonal arrow, which makes the physical line thicker or thinner, and the horizontal arrow that just spreads it across. Try to see if you can use ones that just use the horizontal arrow, so that way you don't have to worry about thickness. However, it all depends on what you're creating. Again, make sure that it's centered, and on to the next element. Now, we're using teeth or tooth decay. So what do you think? You have to have what? Teeth, right? Boom. I try to use simple ones. See how this isn't too distracting? On an infographic, you just want a symbol, something that represents the idea that you're talking about. So here we're talking about teeth. You just click and drag, and you can add it to your infographic. Similarly, you want to change the colors. You can have anything between this dark blue to this off gray to the pure white. Now, the whole point is to have really bright teeth. We want to have white teeth. So let's make this white as bright as physically possible. And then again, similarly, you're going to use the white dots in the corner to hold and drag, and then you can make the size of the tooth bigger or smaller. Now we're going to add a few graphs to help understand the steps of to have healthy teeth. We have what teeth? We have another element. We have the no. So we have no smoking. Again, order these all in here. In the bottom, what else do we have? We have, let's see, what do you have? You have teeth, you have toothbrush, you have toothpaste, you have water, right? Water droplet, for instance. But our data says, go to the doctor. So let's do doctor. Okay, here we go. A stethoscope. Something that is free and something that won't cost too much money, and so that we can put it here at the bottom. Now, I'm going to touch a little bit more on this later at the very end, but you notice how we have the red no sign and the red on the stethoscope, but we have a blue and white centered idea for a graphic. Try to change the colors so that way they blend. That way they blend and have a similar what's called a color palette. And so that way when the viewer looks at your graph, it's more visually appealing. So I'm going to make my grays a little bit lighter and have this also be like a darker gray color. That way everything blends together. Now I want to add toothbrush. Let's see when we have toothbrush. There aren't any really good symbols of a toothbrush that are for free. What are we gonna do? Well, in a few more lessons, we're gonna learn how to add pictures and vector images so that way we can still get the look we want. But now after we add lines and a few graphics, now it's time to add graphics and charts. The next lesson is going to be on how to insert graphs, charts, and data.